Gervonta "Tank" Davis entered the fight on December 14th with the weight of
Tank is making waves again, and this time it's not just about his upcoming fight. It's about his jaw-dropping training footage.
30 seconds.
The video, which Tank unveiled online, showcases him diving into some of the most intense drills you'll ever see, leaving no room for doubt about his dedication.
For the last couple days, Gervonta Davis has released footage of him in fight camp. He looks motivated, he looks focused. You're seeing him doing calisthenics, a lot of different sort of functional body weight movements with a little bit of resistance.
If there was any uncertainty about his next move, Davis just cleared it up loud and clear. And for Roach Jr., this could mean one thing: trouble. Big trouble. The two are set to face off on March 1st, with Tank defending his WBA lightweight title. Roach may have been confident going into this, but after seeing this level of preparation, he's got to be rethinking his game plan.
Now, I promise you, you better lead them home. You better lead the females home. On my mother, you better lead the females home and the kids.
For a brief moment, the fight seemed like it might not happen at all. Tank had everyone scratching their heads when he hinted that the bout might be off. This fight has a lot riding on it, especially with Roach coming up from 130 albs. That's no easy feat, even for a fighter as talented as Davis. But he's done it before and come out on top. Hector Garcia tried to do something similar against Tank, and it ended with Garcia getting stopped. Will Roach meet the same fate? Based on Davis's current form, it's hard not to think so. The man looked unstoppable. The footage is nothing short of breathtaking. Tank looks sharper than ever, and every move he makes screams focus and determination. This isn't just a fighter getting ready for a bout. This is a man on a mission. Tank isn't just training. He's making a statement, and that statement is clear. He's not here to play. But while Tank's physical preparation is earning praise, his choice of opponents continues to raise eyebrows.
I'm gonna beat his ass if y'all talking.
Critics have long argued that Davis isn't fighting the top names in his division. Big fights against the likes of Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, or Teofimo Lopez remain just that. Big fights that haven't happened yet. And fans are getting impatient. The Shakur Stevenson fight, in particular, is one that fans can't stop talking about. Stevenson is an undefeated 3-division champion who's been lighting up the boxing world with his skill and precision. He's set to face Floyd Schofield on February 22nd, and if he wins, the calls for a showdown with Davis will only get louder. Tank, however, has been playing it cool. On one hand, he's hinted that he'd be willing to face Stevenson. On the other, he's downplayed the fight, claiming that Shakur doesn't have any special skills. That's a bold statement, especially considering Shakur's spotless record and reputation as one of the sport's most technically gifted fighters. It's almost as if Tank enjoys keeping everyone guessing, but fans are starting to demand more clarity. They want answers, they want big fights, and they want them now.
That's already Lava Garcia. Oh boy, Garcia's Lava.
What have Shakur done? What have he done in the sport? He haven't done nothing. The young one is looking more better than him.
Who that?
The Keyshawn looking way more better than this. I keep screaming his name. He haven't done nothing. Keyshawn haven't even done nothing.
So what do you say to those who might be afraid?
Davis isn't just fighting opponents in the ring. He's also battling the expectations of boxing fans around the world. His recent announcement that he plans to retire in 2025 after just 3 more fights has sparked a heated debate. Is he leaving the sport too soon? Will his legacy feel incomplete if he avoids facing the biggest names? These are the questions that fans are asking.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis entered the fight on December 14th.
Wake up. Do it to him. Put it on his ass.
Tank's focus on a potential rematch with Ryan Garcia, a fighter he already beat, has left some fans scratching their heads. Sure, a second fight would draw massive attention, but would new challenges against fighters like Haney, Stevenson, or Lopez do more to cement Tank's place in boxing history? Leonard Ellerb, Tank's longtime advisor, has stepped in to defend his fighter. Ellerb believes that Tank has earned the right to call his own shots. He points to the fact that Davis's priorities have shifted since becoming a father. According to Ellerb, Tank is now focused on building a life outside of boxing, and that's something fans should respect. In a recent interview, Ellerb explained the toll that boxing takes on fighters both physically and mentally. He talked about how brutal the sport can be, and how many fighters end up sacrificing their health for a career that often doesn't give back. For Tank, Ellerb says it's about making his mark and then stepping away while he's still healthy. There's more to life than boxing, Ellerb said. Tank has a family now. He has a son, and that changes everything. He's thinking about his future, and that's something every fighter should do. You can't fight forever, and honestly, the fans will never be satisfied. They always want more, but at some point, you have to do what's best for you.
Weight of expectation on his shoulders, an undefeated record of 30-0 with 28.
And I respect him. He know what it is going up against Tank Davis, though. He definitely knows what that looks like. And he's a warrior at heart. He's a champion. And Tank's not going to sit around and wait. And so if it pops off, it pops off. If it doesn't, the show goes on.
It's hard not to wonder what could happen if Tank decided to take on the biggest challenges in the sport. A fight against Shaker Stevenson would be electric. Imagine the buildup, the trash talk, the clash of styles. It would be a fight for the ages. Or what about a move up to 140 to face Devin Haney or Teofimo Lopez? Those are the kinds of fights that would cement Tank's.
Listen, I'm not gonna take anything away. Gervonta, you know, Region 3. Region 3, my nigga, like, we've been like that. You know what I'm saying? From DC to South Florida, all of us like that, right? So we've known each other. Don't act like we never did. My whole thing is like, you know I'm like that.
Is there anything you want to say?
No, bro. Oh, shit. Everything I say, I do. No matter what it is.
Is there anything you want to say to...
Legacy as one of the all-time greats. But maybe that's not what Davis wants. Maybe he's content with what he's already achieved. Maybe for him, it's about leaving the sport on his own terms while he's still at the top of his game. It's a decision that only Tank can make. But it's a decision that will define how he's remembered in the years to come.
Placed him firmly in the spotlight as one of boxing's biggest names. He was defending.
For now, though, all eyes are on March 1st. Lamont Roach Jr. has a mountain to climb, and Tank looks like he's ready to make it even steeper. The training footage doesn't just show a fighter preparing for a bout. It shows a man who's determined to leave no doubt about his greatness. But this is not the only footage that Tank has released. In another new clip, Davis is tossing a medicine ball with two other individuals, but not in the usual way. This isn't your typical throw-it-against-the-wall routine. Tank's version is far more intricate, involving a unique rhythm that demands coordination, strength, and endurance. The movement engages his core and upper body simultaneously, creating an intense challenge that few could replicate. For casual fans, the exercise might look bizarre, but for those who understand the science behind boxing training, it's a masterpiece. A strong core isn't just about having abs. It's about stability, power generation, and resilience. And Davis, known for his crippling body shots, knows better than anyone how critical it is to fortify that part of his body. One fan summed it up perfectly in a comment. It's no wonder his punches hit like a truck. The guy's training methods are on another level. Another joked, "I'd tap out just watching this." Clearly, Davis isn't just a natural talent. He's a fighter who's constantly innovating, keeping his body and his opponents guessing. This kind of creativity in training is something we don't often see from other boxers. Many stick to the basics: shadow boxing, heavy bag work, and sparring. But Davis takes it up a notch, finding ways to prepare his body for the unique challenges he faces in the ring. Whether it's absorbing brutal body shots or delivering them with jaw-dropping power, Davis is showing that his preparation is anything but ordinary.
A fighter moving up from junior lightweight to take on this massive challenge. Roach at
The reactions online range from awe to playful criticism. One fan joked, "Lament Roach is probably watching this and rethinking his career choices," while another added that the medicine ball workout is tougher than some of his opponents. It's these kinds of comments that show the ongoing debate around Davis. Is he truly unbeatable, or has he simply been matched up against fighters who don't pose a real threat?
Vamos, Garcia! Oh boy, Garcia's vamos!
Tim Bradley, a former champion and now a prominent boxing commentator, didn't hold back when he saw the latest footage. Tank is an incredible talent, no doubt about it, Bradley said in a recent interview. But let's not pretend that he's taking on the best in the division. His team is protecting him, plain and simple. Bradley's criticism isn't new, but it's gaining traction as Davis continues to avoid fights against the likes of Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, and Teofimo Lopez. For Bradley and many others, Tank's career has been carefully managed to ensure he maintains an undefeated record. He's in protective custody over at PBC, Bradley quipped, sparking a wave of discussion online.
30-0, with 28 knockouts, had placed him firmly in the spotlight as one of boxing.
Yeah, man, I mean, it's going to go. Tank going to be losing the first 3 rounds. Then he's going to download the data. Then he going to knock this dude out in round 7 or 8. Then he going to do the backflip. Then Jim Gray's going to get in the ring, or Caleb Plant's wife, and say, "Who do you want next?" And Tank's going to say, "I want all those guys." And they're going to go to the press conference, and Elliot Setback's going to say, "Who do you want next?" He say, "I want all the guys."
It's hard to argue with some of Bradley's points. Take Shakur Stevenson, for example. The undefeated 2-division world champion is widely regarded as one of the most skilled boxers in the sport today. A fight between him and Davis would be a dream matchup, but so far it's remained just that, a dream. Davis's team has been accused of maneuvering around such fights, either by imposing conditions that favor Tank or by outright sidestepping negotiations. Critics point to the weight games and other stipulations that have kept potential blockbuster fights from materializing. Even Davis's most loyal fans are starting to feel the pressure of these critiques. While they'll defend his talent to the end, they also want to see him prove it against the very best. A recent comment on the new video read, "Tank is a beast, but we need to see him fight Shakur or Haney. Enough with the easy fights." The new training footage also reignited the discussion about Tank's explosive power. It's no exaggeration. Davis has a 93% knockout rate, and his ability to finish fights has made him one of the most feared punchers in the sport.
Tank Davis has been avoiding, in my opinion, the big fights. Lomachenko, Pitbull Cruz, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney was there. Teofimo was there at one point. He finally fought Ryan, but Ryan, he was drained, and we saw how Ryan looked at one.
But power alone isn't enough to silence the critics. Tim Bradley isn't the only one questioning Davis's legacy. Other analysts have pointed out that, at nearly 30 years old, Tank is running out of time to prove himself against top-tier competition. Fighters like Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez have already taken on significant challenges, adding weight to the argument that Davis is falling behind in terms of career-defining wins. One fan took a different angle, commenting on the video, You can tell he's built for longevity. This guy's going to be in the game for years. While that's a comforting thought for Davis's supporters, it doesn't erase the fact that fans want to see him in high-stakes matchups now, not later. And even if it was later, the guy has already announced his retirement.
They will say the craziest things, the most wildest things, but that they want to fight. Who have they said, well, that was worth fighting? Who have they said, who has said that, let's fight, let's make the fight happen?
I want to be that guy, and that's the way I'm headed. I'm on that road. I want to be that guy.
The debate over Davis's opponents isn't new, but it's becoming harder to ignore. Critics often point to his fight against Joseph Pedraza as the last time he faced a truly formidable opponent without conditions. Since then, they argue, Davis has taken on fighters who, while talented, don't pose the same level of threat as the elite names in the division. Bradley went even further, saying, if Tank really wants to be remembered as one of the greats, he needs to stop playing it safe. Fans aren't dumb. They see what's happening. For Davis, this kind of criticism is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it fuels the narrative that he's dodging the best. On the other, it keeps his name in the headlines, ensuring that every move he makes is scrutinized and discussed. But as much as this is something being talked about, Tank is, without a doubt, a talented fighter. He has even been compared to Mike Tyson, with some calling him the Mike Tyson of our generation. But even Tank himself believes he's more talented than Mike. Even his last opponent, Frank Martin, has commented on Tank's power. Frank Martin's defeat at the hands of Davis on June 15th left the boxing world talking. The MGM Grand Garden Arena witnessed yet another masterclass from Davis, who retained his WBA lightweight title with a stunning 8th-round knockout. For Martin, who had shown resilience and determination for the first 7 rounds, it was a harsh reminder of just how devastating Tank can be when he decides to end a fight. Martin himself later acknowledged Davis's remarkable abilities in an interview with Fight Hub TV. When asked about the power that had brought his KO to an abrupt end, Martin stated, "He's got power. He does a great job at landing the big shot. He knows how to land that shot and hit guys on the button to get them out of there. He's an accurate puncher and knows how to land that shot." Such comments, coming from a fighter who had felt that power firsthand, underscore the lethal precision that Davis brings to the ring.
Davis, a lot of people say he reminds you of them. Did he remind you of yourself?
There we go. I don't know. Thank you. I don't know, maybe just getting in trouble with the law. Other than that, no.
And it's this uncanny accuracy and explosive power that has led fans to draw comparisons between him and the legendary Mike Tyson. Both fighters share a knack for delivering highlight reel knockouts, with Davis often dismantling opponents in spectacular fashion. His victory over Ryan Garcia, sealed with a perfectly timed body shot, remains one of the most talked about finishes in recent memory. Yet Tyson himself has downplayed these comparisons. When asked about Davis's similarities to him, Tyson said, "I don't know, maybe just getting in trouble with the law. Other than that, no." The comment was as candid as it was reflective of Tyson's notorious past. However, Davis didn't hesitate to respond on social media with a bold statement. "I agree, I have more skills."
It's worse than that.
This exchange highlighted an intriguing dynamic between the two boxers. Tyson, who was known for his brute force and intimidation, dominated his era with raw power and aggression. Davis, on the other hand, brings a more calculated approach to his fights. He uses his speed, precision, and tactical intelligence to create openings, making him a more versatile and adaptable fighter. While Tyson's peekaboo style allowed him to slip punches and counter with devastating power, Davis's style is rooted in patience and timing. He waits for the perfect moment to unleash his signature power, often leaving opponents with no chance to recover. Fans have embraced Davis's confident persona, often referring to him as a modern-day Kid Dynamite. But the 30-year-old fighter doesn't rely solely on his power to secure victories. His ability to read opponents and adjust his strategy mid-fight is what truly sets him apart. This was evident in his fight against Leo Santa Cruz, where Davis carefully timed a vicious uppercut to end the bout in spectacular fashion.
And the thing that I really appreciate about Tank is he's a dog. That kind of what he just said, you can put the earmuffs up and go at it. He kind of will assess you as well, and whatever he needs to do, he'll do it, you know, so.
Even with that, Davis and Shakur Stevenson are two lightweight champions whose styles are as different as night and day, which fuels talks about a fight between them. Tank thrives on overwhelming opponents with his raw power and explosive finishes. On the other hand, Stevenson, often praised for his technical brilliance, relies on impeccable footwork and defense to dismantle opponents over the course of a fight. Together, they represent two extremes of boxing, each with its own strengths and vulnerabilities. Davis has made a career out of giving away rounds while waiting for the perfect opportunity to unleash his fight-ending power. This approach has worked remarkably well for him, with 28 of his 30 victories coming by way of knockout. Fans and analysts often marvel at his ability to stalk his opponents with patience, lulling them into a false sense of security before delivering a devastating blow. It's a strategy that not only showcases his physical prowess, but also his mental composure in high-pressure situations.
Ryan, you say Ryan is a C-level fighter, but Tank say Ryan is the best fighter he fought. So what is it about Ryan that made Gervonta feel like he was the best he fought?
I don't know. He shared a ring with him. Maybe he fought all C-level fighters.
Stevenson, however, operates in a completely different realm. Rarely does he lose a single moment in the ring. His mastery of distance control, elite footwork, and near-impenetrable defense make him a nightmare for any opponent. Critics have often labeled his style as less than thrilling, given his preference for outpointing rivals rather than chasing knockouts. But Stevenson himself has countered these criticisms by promising that the right opponent would bring out his best. And if there's one fighter who could fit that bill, it's Davis.
Moving up from junior lightweight to take on this massive challenge, Roach at
As fans continue to debate who would come out on top, the shadow of Davis's next fight against Roach is nearing. Roach, like many before him, faces the daunting task of solving the puzzle that is Gervonta Davis. What do you think, and how do you see these fights playing out? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more updates. See you in the next one.